All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to this Brunch and Learn. This is Jonathan Wyatt, chair of the affiliate committee this year. It's so great to have you all here. We hope that you enjoyed our updated commercial, courtesy of Keith Bishop, showing our board members the commercial for the new affiliate board app and, of course, the Pledge of Allegiance. We are excited to have Janie Jensen with Always the Best Home Staging with us today, a longtime supporter and volunteer of the SCORE Affiliate Committee and many other committees for that matter. She is going to help us with how Matterport and 3D tours can help agents. Very exciting topic, especially right now. So Janie, thank you so much for being here today, giving us this great information. Go ahead and take it away.
Great. Thank you so much, Jonathan. We are really excited to have this panel this morning. And if the panel would in fact show their faces, so you need to show the video part so we can see you. Great. Right now we can't see your face. So be sure that you show your face. Thank you, Jim. We have not had, Daryl, we have not had this topic before. So this is going to be an interesting thing. I've had several realtors reach out to me and say, thank you so much, because I was very curious about this. So we're going to be talking about how Matterport and 3D tours can help you in the real estate industry. We're going to be hearing from a panel of experts this morning, how these things can help your business. We're going to be talking about what is Matterport, what is a virtual tour, and should you use these items in all of your listings. So I would like to welcome our panel, and we'll be introducing them in a little while. But right now we are starting something different for the Brunch and Learn Committee. We're having sponsors at each meeting, and the sponsors then will have a giveaway, which will be given at the end of the presentation. So putting your names in a drawing. So our sponsor this morning is Danica Grady, and I'm going to turn it over to Danica and let her introduce herself. Go ahead, Danica.
All right, thank you so much, Janie. Good morning, everybody. My name is Danica Grady. Lots of people call me their sharpest friend. I'm with Cutco Closing Gifts and 360 Business Growth. I am going to be super quick to tell you what I do today. So if you're ready, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. All right, fantastic. I love it. All right, so here's why I do what I do. So according to NAR, out of the 85% of folks who'd use their same agent again to buy or sell a home, only 9 to 12% actually do. Ouch, right? And the number one reason why they don't is that they don't remember their agent's name, which is just a double ouch. But don't worry though, it's not all bad news. I'm here to teach you how to become part of that 9 to 12%. Now I know you're all giving gifts at the end of transactions. So the question that I'm here to ask you is, are you giving meaningful gifts? So your clients are liking whatever you're giving them, because who doesn't like free stuff, right? Like, of course. But that said, as a business owner, you want to give gifts with purpose. So what makes a meaningful gift? 3 things. 1, are they going to use it a lot? 2, will it last a long time? And 3, will it remind them about you? And that, friends, is where I come in. So raise your hand if you've ever heard of Cutco before. Awesome, a few of you. I know, actually, I think I see Lori on the call too. So hi, Lori, how you doing? So now we basically now know who all the cool kids are in the room. So that's fantastic. So for those of you who don't know, it's made in America since the 1940s, and it's guaranteed forever. It's basically the Rolex or Rolls Royce of kitchen stuff, which is awesome. So what we do is engrave your name and info on the knives themselves so that every time your client uses it, boom, you're right there. So I know there's also a small percentage of you here who like to customize every single gift. And as your business grows, that can get challenging. And if that's you, what we can do is we can pair your gift with something else that's unique to really make it special. And as a bonus, normally you can only deduct $25 off of each gift off on your taxes. But because we're engraving your gifts with your information, now they're 100% tax deductible as advertising, which is basically more money in your pocket, and who doesn't like that, right? And to make all this easy for you, what we do is set you up with either a half year or full year supply of gifts to have on hand. That way, when it's time to gift, you just grab and go. Plus, we take the total cost and spread it out over 6 or 12 months to really make it easy on your cash flow. All right, I'm going to wrap up here so I only have a couple minutes. So I'm going to have everybody grab their phones real quick and open up a text message. All right, fantastic. I'll give you a second. Go ahead and text 619-985-3788. Here's my low-tech version of all of this stuff. It's very fantastic. With your name and email. If you're ready to stop worrying about your closing gifts and make more money, add SHARP at the bottom, SHARP. And if you have closings coming up and you're thinking, dang, like I needed this like yesterday, put your favorite emoji in there too, so you can get priority in my schedule. So to refresh, name and email to set up a 15-minute chat to chat closing gifts, add SHARP if you want priority, and add an emoji. And then, by the way, the first 3 people to place an order with me off our Brunch and Learn today, just because I like you guys and it's super awesome to be here with you all today, I'm going to buy you up to $150 worth of Cutco on me for your own kitchen, which is perfect. Awesome. My phone is blowing up right now. I love it. So at the end of the day, friends, my job is to help you make more money, have less stress, and entertain you with my charming personality. I look forward to doing all 3. Thanks so much. I'll see you guys next time.
Great, Danica, thank you so much. Okay, I am ready to introduce our great panel. And first of all, I want to thank the panel for taking time out of their busy schedules to be here this morning and to share their knowledge and to be able to answer some questions for you all. One of the things I'd like you to do though is there is a Q&A box, not the chat box, the Q&A box. So if you look at the bottom of your screens, you're going to see a Q&A box. We're going to save our questions till the end. And if you put your question in the Q&A box, then we will be able to answer it. Great. So first of all, let me introduce Daryl Monda, who is the founder and managing partner of Digital Media Partners and operating partner of both Tour Factory Bay Area and NorCal Virtual Tours. Prior to starting his Tour Factory business, he was a business consultant. He is very actively involved in the community in numerous organizations. He has lived in Los Gatos for 27 years with his partner, Betty Jo Green, and he enjoys gardening and cooking outstanding meals. So he definitely could use those knives, I think, Danica, if he doesn't already have one. He has 2 daughters and 4 grandchildren. Our next panelist is Hang, I always say his name wrong. Hang, I'm so sorry about that, Trong. Hang is the owner of the VR Squad Incorporated. In 2015, Hang, 1915, that's really making great, huh? Anyway, Hang was involved in technology. And during that time, he had the idea of using VR technology to help agents win more listings and sell homes quickly. So therefore, the VR Squad was born in 2018. It was one of the first to use 3D VR goggles and 3D virtual tours. In the past 5 years, his company has helped realtors throughout the Bay Area sell billions of dollars of real estate, and in fact, over 20 million during the pandemic. Hang is also a father, a husband, and has 2 young sons, ages 3 and 1. Jim Myrick has been in the real estate industry for many, many years. He was formerly the president of Santa Clara County Association of Realtors in 2005. Currently, he is very actively involved in his real estate practice and is a principal and founding member of Keller Williams Bay Area Estates and Keller Williams Coastal Estates. Jim did over $40 million in sales in 2020. Jim is also very actively involved in the SCORE Foundation and serves as one of the marketing leads for the weekly Wednesday marketing meeting. He also assists in the annual SCORE pumpkin auction to help raise money. He's the husband to another realtor, Denise, who many of us know, and the father of 2 children. So let's give a hand to our panels before we get started. Great panel. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, Daryl.
Thank you, Janie.
Yeah, Daryl, I would like to start with you. So can you just tell us what is Matterport? What do we mean when we hear that word? And you need to unmute yourself. You're muted, Daryl. There we go.
There we go. Good morning, everybody. Back in 2011, I bought my first Matterport camera. So Matterport is a 10-year-old technology, and we have been involved in that technology for a good 10 years plus. We currently have 6 people using 2 different kinds of Matterport cameras. Matterport Pro 2, which is the Matterport camera that Matterport sells. And we also have 3 scanners that use the Ricoh camera, which also has a Matterport platform connected to it. Matterport is an immersive technology. It is basically a good walkthrough technology. Its prime benefit is its dollhouse view, where you can take a look and, like the old dollhouse, you can see every room from the top down and be able to go into the, the actual room and walk around and look at it. Uh, we also have another technology which we like to use. It's called iGuide, and I would like to introduce Mike Pravina for a few minutes to explain what iGuide is, because we like to have both technologies available to our clients, Matterport and iGuide. So Michael, can you open up your, unmute yourself and do a brief discussion?
Certainly, yeah. Similarly to Matterport, we capture a 3D scan of a home, or actually we're capturing, actually an iGuide is what it does, is a virtual immersive 3D tour, but we also provide other elements to a listing. So be photos, we capture the floor plans accurately with a LiDAR laser system. We have a team of drafters that drafts out the floor plans that goes along with that. And in our viewer, you are actually walking through the home, you'll see yourself on the 3D tour at the same time. And so what we're providing in our iframe, or what we're delivering in that content, is all the key things that a buyer is looking for when shopping for a home. So if you think about, sellers are still looking to the agent to help them market and help them to market their homes to potential buyers. That's a stat from NAR as one of the top stats why they're looking for an agent. Our technology will offer all that. So the photos, detailed information about the property, room sizes, area calculations of the home, floor plans is listed as number 3 on the NAR stats of what buyers are looking for. And then also you can include things like video and detailed information about the property, as well as an immersive 3D tour to walk through that property.
Okay, thank you, Michael. King, I want to go to you next. Can you tell us, can you extract floor plans? And I'd like you to spend just a few minutes on this, and HDR photos from the Matterport 3D tours. And why is that important?
Yes, I can certainly do that. And thank you, Janie, for the introductions, and aloha from Hawaii, Kona, and to all my fellow panelists and the viewers today. Yes, you can definitely pull out. You can definitely pull out the floor plan from the Matterport, but as Daryl was saying, there are 2 types of cameras that you can use. And if you use the higher end camera, I mean, back in 2014, when I first started looking into that new camera, the Pro 1 and the Pro 2, those are equipped with LiDAR sensors. And so you need those, the higher end camera, to actually take the 3D floor plan while you do the virtual tour. And yes, you can definitely extract that from that floor plan from the virtual tour. Yes, and did you say there was something else, or a different question?
Right, and you can also use HDR photos from the Matterport tour, so you can get regular photos, or what?
Right, so just think about this. When I first started, and the reason why I said that, I thought virtual tour could definitely replace photography, or the need for photography back then in 2014, 15, is because when you do the 3D tour of all the homes, the placement of the camera can actually be, the photos can be extracted from those shots, and they actually look quite good. So if you're paying, for example, our virtual tour start at $219 for homes under 1,500 square foot, right? 219. How much usually are sellers paying for photography? They're paying at least 200, 250, and so on. But for the virtual tour, paying 219, you can actually get HDR along with HDR photos along with the virtual tour itself. And for whoever is interested, I could send you some samples of those photos. And even since 2015, that was the whole idea, was to not to pay for one thing and get everything else that comes along with it. But I mean, our company do also high-end photography also, but it can be a huge savings for the realtor who are just starting out. Yeah.
Great, thank you.
Hey, Jamie, can I add to that?
Sure, and then I want to go into Jim's. If you do it real quickly, because we're under a time crunch, Daryl. So go ahead.
Basically, when Matterport first started out, I met with the CEO of the company a number of times, and they basically said that they had no plan to go into the multiple listing service with the Matterport scans. One of the things that Tour Factory does, we use Matterport and iGuide as additions to our professional photography. We do not use Matterport or iGuide as an independent scan for the MLS listings. We basically believe in high-end professional photography, people who are trained in lighting and angles, because we want to be able to use both professional photography and Matterport or iGuide as an add-on to enhance the marketing of the properties.
Thank you. And Kang, we're all jealous looking at you with the palm trees in the background from Hawaii. Well, since it's dreary here today, right, Jim? Okay, let me just turn this over to Jim. Jim, from a realtor's perspective, how do you know that Matterport and 3D tours work?
Well, I'm kind of a tracking nut when I do our sales. So you know, a lot of these products, and I think people get all jacked up about it because once you see one of Daryl's or Kang's 3D Matterports or their videos, you go, oh my God, that's great. But to be quite frank, it's like having a Ferrari in your parking lot and you're only driving at 35 miles an hour, right? So really, what you do with that is going to dictate the success of it all. So I know people get into the kind of mechanics of what's happening inside there, but you know what? I'm just just plain old salesman, right? But it's very simple. I'm just looking to attract people to my websites. I'm looking to convert those into possible contacts. Those contacts turn into leads. Those leads turn into appointments. Those appointments turn into deals. Okay, so I don't get really the actual the tour itself. How are you actually converting that? I mean, I can show you some of the things that I do in regards to how I track that stuff. Do you want me to share that screen with you? Am I able to do that, Jody?
Yeah, I think
That's
so.
what she said.
Yes, you can share screen.
Okay, so let me share the screen with you here. But first of all, this is like one of the properties I just closed last month, right? Actually, this is in December. It's in December. This is a good one. Do you guys see my screen?
Right.
Yeah, it shows an online traffic dashboard.
Yes.
So I send this daily to my sellers. So what's interesting is it creates a conversation around my sellers and looking at all the stuff that's happening. And so this right here is the daily traffic. And what I do is I take all the this, and again, this one's already done, and I have a bunch of other ones that I show these stats. And I find that the total traffic between Zillow, Redfin, Realtor.com, and Trulia, all those ones, the main traffic sites, I get between 6,000 to 8,000 hits. Then that's usually what results in a deal. Okay, so these are all the different ones that I have that I track. And again, they get this daily from me. I send it over because I can have a conversation about it. Now, the one I do have, like here's the Matterport. I actually own my own Matterport seat. right? And then when someone does the Matterport for me, they transfer the ownership of the Matterport to me. And then I track these on a daily basis on what's going on with it. And so you can tell this one right here that actually resulted in a sale of 140,000 over list. The amount of, if you see, first of all, I got 8,000 hits from the main companies, right? I know how many showings I got. I maintain all that. And here's the impressions I got, visits, unique visitors. And what you do is just keeping up with those, and you know exactly where you're going and how you're pricing the property and what's going on with the sale of the home, right? So, and there's lots of little things. I mean, I can get into other details on that, but I think it's the numbers. A lot of times I've had marketing people come to me and go, how do you feel about my marketing efforts? I go, what I feel is irrelevant. What actually the results are is what is more important. So
that's pretty impressive, Jim. I like that.
Yeah, I think Jim is one of the people that I know who does statistics and does tracking better than anyone. And so he can have a conversation with you all offline about the services he uses, but he gets the information on a daily basis. He's talked about this before, and it works great for him. So if you want to talk to Jim, talk to him about what he does, how he does that. Let me just ask you another question, Jim. What are other ways that you can use 3D tours to promote business?
Well, again, it's these guys are giving you Ferraris, right? So so much great stuff. So how are you going to make that even better? Like we also manage properties, so we have a few properties, and we are now doing virtual tours on all the properties. And what's kind of nice about that is that when someone gives me notice, I can actually start advertising the property right away, and people can walk through it. I archive, because I maintain my own Matterport site. I archive the actual the walkthrough Matterport, and then I will advertise it from there, right? So that's one way I do it. You know what? I also have, normally I'll record the entire Matterport. I'll put it on autoplay and record the entire Matterport. You can create videos out of that too as well. Because quite frankly, one part of the getting the house sold is one piece of the marketing of it, but I think I get more mileage on it afterwards, right? Because then what happens is other sellers going, what did you do? And I show them that my listing presentation going, here's what the last property that happened, the last 3 to 5 properties. I'll lay out the particular success rates, and people go like, okay, well, I know what to expect because I'm data driven, right? As opposed to, hey, the market's really good, and we got these cute signs and we got great flyers, and that's what I mean. I'm going through like, this is the amount of hits I expect in the minute, and by the time I go to get offers in, this is what the traffic should be like, and we're going to maintain that. You're going to see that daily every morning.
Right, great. Okay, Tang, let me ask you a question. Do you think that Matterport can still help realtors win more listings during the pandemic that we're going through now?
Oh, definitely. Yes, of course. I mean, from in 2020, in March, when everything was closing down, I thought I was gonna stay indoors for, like SIP for maybe the whole duration of the pandemic, but that wasn't the case, right? I mean, after we were designated as, we're able to do the work, we saw a double increase year over year on the need to add Matterport or other virtual tour services on top of our regular photography that we're doing. So we saw an increase of 100%. And we can see all the stats from SCORE. Year over year, all the stats have been amazing. Jim is actually one of our biggest clients, right? And we can see that the virtual tour, his virtual tours, the numbers from his virtual tour also, because only recently that we start sending all of the models directly to Jim so he can monitor all the data as he was talking about. Yeah, and we saw a huge increase, and definitely there's a need, more of a need for a realtor in this pandemic era because of it's even more competitive, and the viewers, the buyers, sellers, they need. Well, just imagine that you don't need to go into a home to view a home, especially when the market is so hot right now. But they need to have more assurance of what they're buying, right? I mean, the home is the biggest purchase of their lives, and so if they have more data and more immersive uh, to visualize the home without being there. And so, yeah, it's definitely more important, even so, with virtual tour nowadays.
Daryl, let me ask you a question. Had your company had the opportunity to do tours, say, of a particular community? In other words, that you could show that community to someone who is a potential buyer who may live in another state. So you're still showing not only the home that they could potentially be buying, but like the community around that home. Have you all done that type of thing?
Yes, we have. Matterport has certain limitations to it. So this is why we like to use professional photography. We go out and shoot the community shots. We have in our database standard shots of all of Los Gatos, all of Campbell, all of the towns around where we operate in. And then we add that to the Matterport. That's our photos, community photos, and then the Matterport scans. The one thing that is really important to know is that we offer both products, Matterport and iGuide. And the reason for that, we have found that Matterport has a younger audience, people who are more techie like Matterport, people that are older, that are in the 50, 60, 70, and 80-year-olds get lost in the closet. They have a hard time with the technology. iGuide is a much simpler technology. It is a split screen where it works on a 360-degree panorama, and it's on this side is the 360 video, on this side is the floor plan. So it's very easy to click on the dot within a room and then actually go through a 360. So using both technologies has really enhanced our position. We do approximately 100 3Ds a week here at Tour Factory. Approximately 40% are Matterport, 60% are iGuide. So we offer both products. There's a market for both products. Both products are good. I'm not going to put any product down because they have a special virtual walkthrough. And because of this pandemic, we promote both products equally so that people have a chance to use the product to avoid having a lot of traffic through the house. And it's a great way to preview the house and say, damn, I want to go out there and take a look at that house. Or nope, this doesn't work for me. So I'm in the process of, I basically run an advertising agency for real estate agents, and we want them to have opportunity to see the actual home through a walkthrough.
Danny, can I just add to Daryl's thing? So if I quickly just share my screen, is that okay?
Yeah.
So just other elements that you can do in terms of, do you see a virtual tour right now? Do you guys?
Yep, we see it.
Perfect, thank you. So you can add like a 360 of a neighborhood to call out elements in our virtual tour. So you can get more of that feel. You can also do like 360 panoramas around the neighborhood if you want to have more of a feel of understanding that neighborhood. I mean, I think what the industry is doing in terms of the search portals, they're doing a fantastic job of really understanding walk scores, what the neighborhood information is. And when a person is looking at a home, they want to really kind of dive deeper into that. And that's where things like being able to show the value that Jim talked to, providing analytics like we do as well, give you that ability. But you can add these elements of adding like a 360 of the tour. So then you can actually walk into the home, you can walk outside or even inside that home to really understand that property. But at the same time, you have a floor plan, so you can really envision how that home's going to fit and flow and work for you. But it can go from that myopic level of understanding the home out to a better, understanding, even adding in detailed maps of the area or being able to look at a 360 visuals of it. So I'll stop sharing. I just wanted to quickly show that there's multiple ways to kind of connote and depict what's happening in the neighborhood and how that home fits in, within that neighborhood itself.
Great. Jim.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Jim. I have some questions, a couple of questions for you. First of all, should this be used in all listings? That's my first question. If you can talk about that, and then I have a follow-up.
Yes. All listings.
Yes,
Yeah.
they should be used in all.
All listings. I
Okay.
don't, when someone hires me, we're all in. We don't go over and say, one bedroom, one bath condo gets the video and Matterport and, our $3 million houses get it too.
Okay. All right. Great. So my next question is, what about privacy concerns? Are there any privacy concerns that should be taken into consideration by a realtor?
Yeah, I've been getting a lot of that lately. People want to take stuff off of it. Though I think some of it's not so much paranoia over the people being able to go inside the house. Sometimes I find that people, they want to do some remodeling and things like that. They don't want people seeing the pictures inside. So, I'm getting about 1 out of every 5 listings that people are asking to do that, right? To take that off. We're truly considering eliminating when we sell the property is to kill the links on the for the Matterport tours, the 3Ds. And we're thinking that just going to be part of our regular recurring basis and almost put it as a benefit to the new buyers going, hey, just so you know, we pulled that off. However, I do still use it for our stuff, right? So I have archives of it, and I do keep it for my own records for later on as well. So,
Right. So you're talking about once the house has been sold, to take it off so that you don't have people saying, "Hey, well, let's go over here and possibly break into this house." I mean, let's be
right.
real honest about it. Okay.
Well, they can walk in and just tell you where you're going to go, right? I mean, that's the whole thought pattern of it. And then, sometimes what we'll do is we'll do certain pictures we'll pull out too for some of the interiors. We'll just have to figure out the liability. The only problem is I've had people actually request that. And then the issue that I have with that is that I got to be careful because we don't really know how our information has been disseminated to other platforms, right? And I'm not sure if Zillow is going to take that off. So when someone requests it, usually I make it very, very clear that I'll take it off the MLS, but that's all the control that I have. And then everything else, if they want that done, it needs to be done by themselves or it isn't by me.
Yeah. On our side for the iGuide, you can actually just go in and lock it. And so even if they have that link to that property, they won't be able to see inside the property or see any of the details. So that agent has control to lock that property as soon as it's sold.
Nice. Yeah, you can do that. You can do that with Matterport as well. Matterport has the same, there's a lock guide to it. Or I guess they call it there's a lock and there's an archive feature to it, but I use the archives a lot. Because then, if I'm listing another house in the neighborhood from somebody that saw my sign or got my mailers or my emails, I can say, hey, this is what this looked like and go from there.
That's great.
Hey, Michael, can you address what's the advantage of the new buyer with the iGuide product?
Pardon me, Daryl? Sorry, you cut out there.
So if I'm a new buyer and I have the iGuide available to me, what can I do with it?
Oh, well, so we do provide a downloadable version of the iGuide where the agent, depending if the seller agent wants to, and if they can pass it along to the buyer. So then now the buyer, it's offline. They can go in and view that home. They could share it with their designer. We even have a third-party integration where you could upload it into floorplanner.com and you can plan out your space. So you could put in your furniture, design it all out. So, especially right now with COVID, the ability to go in and see that property multiple times, have the measurements, area calculations, you can go and figure out, what you want to do with that space and plan your move in, or even plan renovations. All our files are downloadable. We can get DXF versions where an architect could take our floor plans and then upload that into a CAD drawing, and then they could do any kind of renovation project with that as well. So just some flexibility where you could add extra value to your clients if you're giving them that iGuide, and your branding will show on there as well. So it's one of those things that could be memorable that Danica kind of talked about. There's agents here that will give the iGuide to that seller, so that, to the buyer, or to the seller for memories, or to the buyer for the ability not to disrupt the sellers before they move in.
So do you classify iGuide as a Ferrari, or do you classify it as a Ford?
Well, it's funny. I mean, we have agents that are, as to your point, they are Ferraris in a sense. It's, it's just giving consumers better decision-making processes, really understanding the space. And I think, to Jim's point, that, where a lot of our top agents that are using iGuide across North America, they love the analytics, because then they can show value to their clients. Like, your clients, they don't see that you guys work day and night, 24/7, you're on call. So how do you show value to them? And then how do you use that in a listing presentation going forward as well? Say, hey, this is what I did on my last listing. This is how many people came in. And, Jim, he's sophisticated on another level. So, not everybody has that sophistication to be able to demonstrate that value. And that's fantastic. So again, I think all these technologies are great if you can demonstrate the value and then show your clients, hey, this is what I did for you. Now you've tucked them in. They're your next referral. They're going to feel good about, you selling their home in a week. I'm in Toronto, homes are selling in 3 days, and, commissions are big. And so how do you show value to your clients to say that this is what I did for you, so that they feel comfortable and feel great about what you just did for them, in terms of being able to sell their home so quickly. So
Great. So
Good technologies.
Okay, so let me ask for some closing words from the panel. And what I would like to do is a couple of things. If you have any questions, please put them in the question and answer box, not the chat box. And I would like all of the panelists to put their contact information in the chat box. So that way, if anyone wants to get in touch with you, they can do so. So Kane, why don't I start with you for any closing words that you would like to share with our audience today?
Yes, I would love to add one more thing. So time to market for real estate is really important, especially right now when when the competition is so fierce. I would say one more benefit of our virtual tour and the HDR photos is using those HDR photos to do virtual staging. And just imagine if you have to wait for a house to be staged, usually now you have to wait for a stager that right now is going to go 2 to 3 weeks out. And sometimes you don't want to wait that long, or your clients don't want to wait for the staging to come in, or to be staged. One more benefit is to use those photos and quickly do a virtual staging, and to have that that home listed within a day or two instead of 2 weeks, 3 weeks out. But yeah, I would like to add that one more thing in, is the time to market can be greatly reduced with the virtual tour that you already have.
So Daryl, any closing remarks from you?
Yes, I would. The iGuide product is relatively new to Northern California. We've been using it now very successfully for the last 3 years. The one thing that we found with iGuide over Matterport is that the average viewer time is over 3 minutes, which means iGuide has a stickiness to it. And stickiness is really important, whether it's professional photography. Stickiness is important because of the angles and the lighting that we use. Also, to Kang's report, virtual staging is very important right now, along with normal staging. So we also do a lot of that in our TwistLetter platform. Michael, any last comments?
No, I mean, I think there's lots of great value with all these technologies, and I think the ability to give the consumer a better decision-making process, you're going to keep them on listings longer. Homes are selling faster. And I've had a number of comments from agents across the US recently, just because so many markets are hot and starved for product. The ability to even have multiple offers on a listing and have people to be able to go in there and kind of make their decisions has been very helpful. One of the things that we launched when COVID first hit was the ability to virtually show a home. And so if I pulled up a home on my phone, and I'm just going to hold it up to the computer, I could actually, send a text to my client and say, hey, let me walk you through this home. And I can take you through that home. You don't have control, but you can look on your phone with hands-free right at the same time. It's talk about speed to market. To Tang's point, it's very important. So I can quickly walk my clients through their home. Hey, look at this home. I know that there's going to be a lot of people interested in it. Let me walk you through it and take a look at it. And this has been a fantastic element that we added to our product. That the feedback's been tremendous, because it just allows you to get into that home and walk through it, as opposed to sending a link to your client where they're walking through it on their own. You're in control as the real estate professional, walking them through and getting that immediate feedback, what's important to them and what they're looking for. That also gives you information that you can pass along to the seller, or if you are willing with the sellers, information that you could pass on to the seller, your clients. So thank you very much for having me here today. I really appreciate your time. Thanks.
Thanks, Michael.
Okay, and Kane, before
That's a great point, Michael. Yeah.
Kane, let me ask you to put your contact information in the chat box. And Jim, I want to turn this over to you for any final remarks that you'd like to share.
Yeah, just to go through that, you know what? I've been done so much experimentation on this stuff. It's hard for me to really, and probably the tech guys would concur with this, is that it's hard to figure out why certain online behavior works and why it doesn't. And so it's a constantly trying, right? It's constantly trying and seeing what works, and just dictate the numbers on what your traffic looks like. We've done certain advertisements with the Matterport, like a video, or we've done a still photo, or we just, we can't, sometimes it's hard to predict on how it's going to work. And then all of a sudden you see the numbers spike and you go, what happened there? And then you go, well, let's do more of that, right? So it's a very complicated marketing plan, and mine's very complicated. Things that don't work, don't do that. Things that do work, do more of that, right? It's 17 pages of a marketing plan, but that's just play with it all the time. I would encourage everyone to use the tools. There's so many cool things you can do to attract buyers and sellers and get those contacts, so you can create those contacts to leads.
Great. Okay, so Jody, do we have any questions for the panel?
I saw a question in here earlier for contact information, but everybody's putting that in. I don't see any questions coming into the Q&A or the chat box just yet. I want to remind you, don't leave just yet. We have 2 drawings. Janie, did you get to those 3rd questions for everybody?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nobody has any questions?
I can't believe that.
How about we get into those drawings, you guys, and then that gives some people maybe some extra time to think about those questions before the end.
Yeah, I can do one of them. So what I've done is, again, if you're still on here, I've been keeping track. There is a question. Let's see.
Here we go.
Oh, I see everybody, Daryl and Kang put their stuff just to the panelists. So if you give me a minute, Chris, I will switch that so that it goes to the panelists and everyone else. So I'm going to share my screen so you guys can see that this is going to be completely random. I have a name spinner here. So I think you guys can all see my little spinner. Okay, I'm gonna spin the wheel. So everybody who's an attendee, your name is in here. And then we're gonna go ahead and spin for the first prize. Janie, do you want that to be No, I'm gonna stop my sharing.
That's so
I think
cool, Jody.
I added sound, so
That
let me
is
make sure you
cool.
can hear it. There we go. So Janie, do you want this to be for the gift card or for Danica's gift set?
Let's go for Danica's first.
Okay, so I'm gonna click to win. You can't win twice, so once you win, your name will automatically be taken off. So here we go. All right, so Lori.
And we're all winners today.
This is true. Everybody's a winner. So Lori, you have won the gift set from Danica. Is Danica still on? Did she hop off? I think.
No,
Oh, everybody sees my email apparently, not my prize wheel.
Correct.
I think
We saw the prize wheel earlier, and then I reshared, and you saw my email. So Danica had to jump off, but I'll make sure that she gets your information, Lori, so that she can send you your prize. Okay, so do we want to do another one? There was a question in here about pricing. Is it pretty competitive? Like, I know that it's probably a case by case kind of thing, but how does pricing work?
I can answer that. We price iGuide and Matterport out at the same price, which is approximately 15 cents per square foot. The larger properties have a reduction of maybe up to 10 to 15% off of that base price.
Okay.
great. Okay. So Danica, I'm sorry, Jody, why don't you Kane would like to say something about pricing.
Sure.
Why don't we go ahead and spin the wheel again so that for the $25 Starbucks gift card.
So go ahead, King.
Pricing for, sorry.
I think I'm not sure if it was anything in general, but and I know that it's probably property specific and things like that, but is there like an overall, do you guys have packages available, or how does it work with you guys?
So our photography starts at $169. Our drone is $199. Our virtual tour starts at $219. And virtual staging is $30 per photo. Yeah.
So Jody, let's spin the wheel again.
All right, this time we'll make sure I do it right. You don't get to read my email this time. Okay, so do you guys see the prize wheel now?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and spin this. Lori, your name's been taken out. So the winner will get a $25 gift card. Elizabeth Castillo wins a $25 gift card. So congratulations. And I'll work with Janie, and I think we're going to get that to you virtually because you can email everything these days. So does anybody have any last minute questions or thoughts? Any questions for our panelists?
Great. Well, let me turn this back over to Jonathan.
All right. Yes, we do have a little bit more time. You guys did a great job today. Wonderful information all around. I just wanted to encourage everybody out there to definitely take stock of the names, phone numbers, and emails of all the professionals that presented to you today. Reach out to them. If you haven't done so already, definitely grab that SCORE affiliate app on your phone. We are all there. Makes your life a whole lot easier. If you need somebody in a different profession that is in the SCORE family, we are here to help. We do have some exciting get-togethers and drive-throughs and things like that going to be scheduled for closer into probably March and April that we will be excited to inform you about when the time comes. Our next Brunch and Learn is March 19th. Looking forward to having you all there. And Janie, since we have a few more minutes, do you want to say anything else to the kind folks out there, or maybe you have other questions?
No, I don't have any questions, but I'd just like to say if anyone, Daryl, can you lose yourself? Thank you. So I would like to say that we do have some openings on the affiliate committee, and we are certainly looking for affiliates to join us. We'd be happy to have you. So you can either contact myself, and I will put my number and things in the chat box, or you can contact Jonathan. And I think Jonathan will put his information in the chat box. And we'd love to have you. So we meet once a month. We are the ones that put on the Brunch and Learn. We also put on other events throughout the year. And it's just been a little bit different this year because we're doing things virtually. But it's a great committee to be on. It's a good way to give back to SCORE, good way for you to get to know some people. So we would love to have you. Jody, anything you want to say finally?
Just to let everybody know a little bit more about that SCORE source. So usually you guys have those big affiliate guides. Because of COVID, I don't think we printed them this year. So if you have an app, if you have a phone, you go into your App Store, your Google Play Store, you type in SCORE source. That's your affiliate guide. There's specials in there. There's all kinds of information. You can call or email or go to a website directly from that SCORE source. So everything really is at your fingertips now. So make sure you check that out because that's your affiliate guide.
Beautiful, and again, kudos to JD and Janie and the rest of the panelists here today. Again, this is the first time that we have ever, educated people on this topic before, and it's becoming something that is more and more prevalent in our market, especially with COVID. But I know myself, I'm really lazy. A lot of times, if I want to go see a house, pictures are great, but unless you have that frame of reference of where is everything in relation to everything else. It's just, I think it's the new standard of, the real estate industry. So good job to everybody there again today. And we do want to stress being a part of the community here, being a part of the board, definitely is like giving back to our environment and our family. And, we definitely want to give new information instead of the same old stuff time and time again. So our next one, we're going to be talking about Prop 90. We've got some good things coming up on taxes that are good to know. And if you'd like to see anything else, please shoot us an email, a text to any one of the people here that have presented today. And I guess we'll end it here unless everybody has anything else. So thanks again for joining us, and God bless.